Okay, I think we're live, or at least we'll be live for the replay and all of that as well, hopefully. So we are here for the very first live show for Leave It to the Pros, our historical fiction book club. Yes, you have the book. I was like, I don't even have the book. I just have the cover on my phone.
Yeah. I wouldn't have
Okay.
bought it myself.
You know. So we did read Lady Tan's Circle of Women by Lisa C.
Yep. That's fun.
And
Hold up.
yeah,
Pretty cover though.
it is. It's really pretty. I love the green and the gold. I was actually going to get it, and then I was like, let me read it first and see what I think of it. I
Yeah.
know it was like a book of the month pick, and I have like book of the month credit. So I was like, well, if I love it, I could always do that.
Yeah,
So
it's weird. I got this in when did I do a sponsorship with them? Like only a couple of months ago. It was this year. But it says June 2023 on the back. So I
yeah, I was going to say it's an older one, I think.
That's why I was like, I thought it was a newer one, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, Kamal.
Hi. It shows.
Okay, so so we both finished the book. So like, what did you give it, think of it, all the things?
I don't have a rating.
Okay.
And so it took me like 2.5 weeks to finish this book. So I started it at the beginning of July because I knew I'm like, okay, when I get back from my trip, like, I don't know how much reading time I'm going to have. So I want to get ahead. And I got through like 40%. And then I think it was like 40. And then I listened to like an hour and a half, 2 hours on the plane. Like I got through, some more. And then I pushed myself to finish it the last 2 days. And it was a struggle.
Yeah.
It was a very big struggle.
That is a great question.
Do you have like a hard rating?
No, I was actually trying to decide as well, but I feel like, I don't know, like 2.5/3 stars, like, but it seems so low, but like, I don't know.
So I get very what's the word? Like I can get very like not critical. What's the word? Analytical when I read some historical fiction books, right? And that's why I like reading historical fiction because everyone can get like something different out of it, kind of like a romance, but like what you take away. And I didn't realize this is a translated work. And I think that's what they said. This was like translated from like records of a female doctor, like miscellaneous records. Yeah. So the way that it read, at least the audio, did you listen to the audio?
I did the audio, yeah.
It read like a textbook. So I understand the importance of what and why the book was written. And I did get some things out of it. But it's still like, it read like a textbook.
Yeah. I know, it was just like very, which I guess we can like talk about it. So it's the first female kind of doctor physician in China. And so it starts in like the late, like 1490s, I think, in China. And so it's basically it's two women's stories. And so they become friends, but like one of them is kind of grown up around grandparents who are both like scholars and a doctor and into medicine for women. And then it's her journey of doing that as well. And then it's kind of like looked down upon as well at the time of like people working with women, I guess, and all those things. And so a lot of like midwifery and like childbirth and like a lot of that type of stuff and like ailments that people were dealing with at the time as well. And then it shows like the other lady, Mei Ling, I think is her name, of her like she's from like a lower class family and like how she gets to do what she wants, whereas the like I guess the aristocracy type family life, like the other lady, she doesn't get to like do what she wants and she has to become like the traditional like wife at home and like with taking care of her husband and children and being very obedient and like all of those things. And so yeah, it's their journey over the years. And so I just felt like it was very repetitive. Like we did a lot of the same points. It was very long and like I struggled with the audiobook because it was just so long and like the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, the chapters were really, really light. And you could see, I understood like how they did to like, I say different times, but like throughout their life basically. And you see how it's progressed. And it gets a little better, like being a female doctor, like gets a little better by the end, but it's still frowned upon basically. But I did like how like I go back and forth. The message, oh my god. Hang on. What is happening?
I don't know.
It's all of my text messages from the last freaking week.
Oh, all coming through at once.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I need to like take that off. Okay. I don't know how to stop it. Okay, that was your last text you just sent me. Like,
Oh, okay,
okay,
so we're caught up.
because I have 154 text messages. But anyway, um, it's one of those things where I like the message of the story. Like, I feel like this book could have been like half as long, and I still would have gotten the same message.
Mhm.
But and I don't know if it's like the translated work of why it read so like meticulous in particular. Sorry, aw, sorry. I don't know. It was interesting. Like I understood what they were saying. I understood how like being a woman and giving birth and having like the pressures of having a girl versus a boy or having a boy
Mhm.
versus having a girl and how much to deal with that and like for one of the female characters, her like being in the family that she is, of making sure she has a boy, and like all of these things. And I know not a lot, but I've researched like in school about like Chinese history, so I knew some of this stuff, not from like female
Mhm.
perspective, but some of the stuff they were talking about. I don't know. I want to land at like a 3 star because I'm like I always say like 3 stars, like a book existing in the world, right? Like it's just there.
Mhm.
Some people
Yeah,
might like it, some people might hate it.
yeah. That's why I'm like kind of 3 because like it just wasn't for me, you know?
Yeah. I did run to Goodreads to see if you rated it before, like as soon as I finished, and you
Yeah,
were
I
like,
was like, "Nope."
book club pick coming soon, and I was like, oh damn it.
Yeah, I know. It was well because I think it's like a translated work off of her journals, but then this author did like a fictionalized version of a story around that.
Yes.
And so I've read another historical fiction that also did kind of like the whole midwife situation like in history, which was The Frozen River, which came out
Oh.
I think last year or this January. But that one takes place in like America in the like maybe 1700s, 1800s. So like it was different, but kind of the same, like based off of a woman's journals and like the first female physician possibly in the US,
Mm.
maybe something like that. And so kind of similar vibes. That one though, the fictionalized story around it, like worked better for me, whereas this one was just tedious, like getting through it all. And like I feel like we went or like was in the trauma with like the women like a lot of the times and like very in-depth like descriptions of some of the medical procedures they were doing.
Yes. Like a little too in depth where I was like, is this a horror book? Like I'm getting creeped out a little bit. Like I don't
There
like
were there were some parts I was reading, I was like, "God, I wonder what Tori's gonna think of this because it feels like horror vibes."
I looked at the average rating and it's a
Mhm.
4.36 out of 110,000.
Wow.
So maybe it's just not for us.
Yeah, because I think this author is super popular, like, I was looking at some reviews after, and, like, I thought people said this wasn't their favorite from her,
Interesting. Okay.
so I don't know, but I know she's really popular.
Like I feel like if you yes.
Mhm,
It just I don't know if also too it was I didn't physically try to read it, but listening to the audiobook, like I don't the words that she used, it was very much like a medical textbook. Like that's kind of what I was reading. Like I was reading a course on like anatomy or like what to do in a
mhm,
medical situation when you have like no tools, right? Like that's kind of how I was reading it. And like I don't mind those. Those just take me a really long time to read.
mhm.
Like I don't get sucked into the book where I want to put it on while I do everything and anything. Like it took me 2.5 weeks, and that's if it wasn't for the book club, I would have DNF'd it at like 60%.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what, like, some of the parts like, it wasn't the medical stuff, it was, like, the metaphors, I guess, like, that they would use for things. Like, I was like, "Just say what you're talking about," you know, like, they're talking about, like, "Oh, like, my, like, flowery kingdom," and, like, whatever, like, those type of things where I was like, That's kind of like a lot,
And I think I'm like, I
which is of the
understand.
time, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand what she was trying to do is like bring those metaphors and like sayings and how they talked back in the 14th, 15th, 16th
Hmm.
century type thing in China and translate those. But even now, if you take like a proverb and translate it, it does not make sense to most
Yeah.
English people. Like it's not going to have the same impact. So, like, once again, I understood what she was saying. I understood how, like, I think towards the end of the book, it was more so like how important like vaccination is, especially with all the smallpox that was happening. 'Cause that happened,
Hmm.
and she had to like leave her son and her daughter, and she was worried about her daughter, and like all of these things that was happening. So I
Hmm.
get the importance of that and the conversations had around that,
Hmm.
but I felt like it was like that was happening, but then all of this other shit was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Yeah. Are you gonna listen
Mechanical.
to it? Yeah.
Mechanical. That's the
Hmm.
word. That's the perfect word, Monica. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, that mechanical side versus the other side, like, it just didn't go very well together, like, it didn't mesh.
No.
Yeah, and I was hoping, like, because I know, like, it's of the time, I get it, but, like, the whole foot binding situation, and then the one woman, like, or the main character, like, then doing that to her daughters and, like, very in-depth about it, and it's just like, you didn't want that, and now I mean, I guess it's of the time and, like, the household she was raised in and the place she was living in, but it's like, I was hoping there was gonna be, like, a little bit of a rebellion where she, like, didn't do that with her daughters, you know what I mean? Like, just to I don't know, it just felt like the circle continuing, which I guess, this the title of the book.
Yeah. And I thought when I listened, like when I read the title of the book, I thought it would be like her surrounded by all these other women
Mhm,
that she's like teaching these things to, kind of like hidden. And I felt like like mothers that she kind of went to and like helped their kids or helped, obviously like they learn stuff, kind of like how
mhm,
she did from her grandmother, but like lightly. And so I guess like they probably taken some things away from that and like continued on and grown from that. But I don't know, maybe it was me, I read the title differently, if that makes
yeah,
sense. Like, not the
yeah.
circle of, like, literally the repetitiveness of, like, trauma.
Life,
Yeah, that
yeah,
women in China have gone through, you know?
mhm,
Yeah, no, that's true, Monica.
mhm.
I
Which
mean, I know
again goes back to, like,
finding.
the repetitiveness, like, they just harped on a
Yes.
lot of things a lot, like, throughout the book, so it would be brought up again and again, like, reminding us, like, we didn't forget about it, we just heard about it.
Yeah, and that's why, I wonder though, like, if her other books are like this, if she writes this way, Lisa C,
Mhm,
if she
mhm,
writes this way, or does it flow better? But I'm like, now at this
yeah,
point, like, I don't really wanna read another one of her books.
I know. Well, people said they didn't enjoy this one, but they loved, like, some of her other books, so I'm kind of interested, but also, like, it would really depend on what it's about, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I don't know, I was gonna look at some of her other works, like the titles, just to see.
Yeah, there was something about a snow or something that people were talking about, or a snowflower in The
Oh,
Secret
and then
Can, yeah.
the metaphor things too, going back to that, with
Mhm,
the smallpox, just because I recently read the ending, so it's, like, more in the forefront of my mind. The way
mhm.
they, like, talk about how it's, like, the flowers of the skin and how the blisters were, like, blistering, I was like, "I don't need to know this."
Yeah,
Disgusting. Oh, Snowflower and the Secret Fan.
mhm.
Pretty cover.
Which I
Because
think
that one's
that
only
one's been made into a movie.
yeah, that one's only 288 pages, like, this one is
Hmm,
ridiculously long.
and this one has a ton of ratings, but it must be it only came out in, like, 20 something.
Yeah, 2018. The Island of the Sea Woman sounds really pretty. Like, or the cover
Mhm,
looks really pretty, that's what I meant. See, like,
yeah,
this did not need to be 350 pages. I think this is one of her longest books.
I know, it honestly felt over, like, 400 pages.
Yeah. Okay, so she does write about a lot of, like, I'm assuming Asian
Mhm.
historical fiction, which, I mean, like, totally fine. She probably writes it. Why does she look like a white woman?
Yeah, I think I saw some reviews and stuff that people were talking about how much percent-wise she actually has of her, like, ethnicity. It's
Mm,
very low.
interesting. I wonder if,
Mhm.
like, maybe her husband or something, like, his family is, like, some type of.
I think it's her family. I think she's, like, an 8th or a 16th, like
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
technical.
Mhm.
I mean, like, that's cool that she's writing about. I do love authors like Chanel Clayton does that. She
Mhm.
is Cuban. She's Cuban.
Mhm.
And I think she's part, I don't know how much, but her ancestry is from there, like either her parents or grandparents. I think it's her grandparents. But she writes a lot about Cuban and Puerto Rican culture in like
Mhm.
historical settings. And I love that because Brandon, his family is Hispanic, Puerto Rican, and Cuban.
Mhm.
He is both. So I love reading about that because I love to read about obviously their culture and like their history, but
Right.
it's told in a totally different way than like this.
Mhm. I know. Yeah.
But at least we're on the same page though with our rating then, because I was
For
going
sure.
3 star. Because like I always feel bad if like the writing doesn't work for me and like the author and her writing isn't like for me, but like objectively I understand it's a good message. It
Right.
has a good message. A lot of people get things out of it. I struggle with that. I'm like, how do I rate that when it just didn't work for me? Like I wasn't the person that was supposed to pick up this book.
Mhm.
I struggle with that.
But, like yeah, because 'cause I'm like, what was the overall message? Was it just the history of it? Like
See, like this is also, I mean, obviously with romance too. I mean, everyone gets the HEA at the end, but like
Mhm.
emotions and stuff. I didn't emotionally connect with the characters in this book, unfortunately, and I think that's part of the
Mhm.
reason why I had a tough time with it. But I feel like the message is telling the history of how like seeing that in late 1400 China, excuse me, 1500s, and seeing what women, all types of women from every social standing goes through. I feel
Mhm.
like it's still very relevant now. Like I feel like women trying to make sure they have boys versus the girls. I feel like it's not as much, but in some families they prefer having boys first over, female. I mean, even in romance books now that we read, it's like, oh, my brother, even though he's younger than me, the company's going to go to him, type of a thing. Um, Making sure that like you keep your husband. Like at one point, her husband was going out to the tea rooms. I think that's what they call it, and like basically stepping out on her. Um,
Mhm.
I think the foot binding too is like the circle of like the generational, I say trauma, but it's physical, but like obviously what she's gone through, I feel like she did stop some of that from like her mother-in-law more so. And she didn't really pass it on to her kids, but like the foot binding, that
Mhm.
something like you're like, oh, I wish she would have stepped out and been like, no, but it's like still
Mhm.
no, the social norm back then type of thing.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like what I got. I don't know if you got anything different or whatever other than just the story and the importance, but that's kind of like what I took, especially with like the smallpox and the vaccinations. And because she was like, why didn't you get your kid vaccinated? And she was basically like, oh, well, how was I supposed to know? Like, you're really going to tell me I'm a bad mother because I didn't even know this was a thing type of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I felt
it was,
like that was very of today's time, that whole conversation of the whole yeah, the inoculation of, like, smallpox, which was super interesting, and I looked that up because I was like, "Was that really the first time that they figured it out?" And it was, like, that was really what they did back then, and, like so that was interesting, but, like, it felt very current day conversation, you know?
I think that was probably one of the more modern conversations throughout the
Mhm.
whole book.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, it's brought up in the beginning, and I was like, "Oh, interesting," and then, like, it kind of I was like, "Oh, it's coming back," like, that's why they brought it up, because now it's gonna happen to a character.
Yeah. I also thought it was interesting. Oh, excuse me. Um, I also thought it was interesting at the beginning how she went to go live with her grandparents. Because I
Mhm,
feel like I personally did not know that was so like that was totally normal. Like no one looked down on her for going live with
mhm,
her grandparents or like anything like that. I would think as like a kid they would, but they didn't. It was like so normal. I mean, obviously that's kind of how she learned most of that stuff was from her grandmother, and then like full circle, her grandmother passing away at the end, and her like getting Missy.
Mimi is so chatty.
It's because I'm talking. Like literally anytime I talk, and I'm not talking to Brandon, like someone
Mhm,
in the house, she's
yeah.
the vlog. Like anytime I vlog, sorry. But yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
I'm trying to think of any other parts where I was like, this was interesting.
yeah. I did like her grandmother, though, like, she was very much like, "I'm gonna teach you and, like, pass on everything I know to you," while
I
the
didn't.
grandfather was the one who was more, like, scholarly and like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that, you know, because you're a woman," or whatever. The grandma's
Yeah,
like, I got you."
yeah. I did not like the mother-in-law.
No. Mm-mm.
Hated her.
No.
She did miss me. They all missed us.
Aw.
Yeah, she was well taken care of though.
Yeah, where were they when you guys were gone?
They stayed here. So we had
Oh, okay.
Brennan's sister, she stayed the last 4 days here at the
Oh,
house.
okay.
And then we
Nice.
had one of our friends from high school, like one of our friends stayed the
Oh, good,
first
yeah.
couple days. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, they got to stay home instead of being, like, kennelled or anything.
No, yeah. We stayed
Yeah.
like, at Brennan's parents' house for the first couple days just because she's rowdy and our friend
Mhm.
worked. So I didn't want her to be in the crate for like 6 to 8 hours while he worked.
Yeah.
Because Miko and Mimi, they just roam the house and it's fine. I cannot deal with you right now. Yeah. I was hoping that this first pick would be like really good and we would have
I
like
know. I
amazing
know.
like ratings, but unfortunately it was not a great one.
Yeah. I know. Trying to see what else I had wrote down about it.
Oh yeah, you do the notes thing. You're so like on top of it.
Yeah. That way I can do, like, a review later and I remember things to talk about.
I don't my reviews are like 2 sentences and it's usually I write them a month later when I try and
Oh,
like
no.
that's all I remember about it.
Mm.
Mm. I mean, it's like it's a book existing in the world. That's kind of how I see it.
I know, yeah. Which I think at the end, like, I'm just remembering this, like, this is not in my notes, but, like, I think at the end, there was, like, another narration part at the end. Did you hear that? Of, like, I think a guy who was the descendant of
Mhm.
this woman and stuff, and so I think he was mentioning there's been other, like, translations of her work, like, fictionalized into books and things, and, like, how the actual, like, medical journals, like, still exist, like, out there.
Oh, I skipped over that part because I just
Oh, okay.
I mean, I heard like the neck after everything,
Yeah.
it was like his voice changed, and I was like, I'm
Mhm.
done with this book. I'm done. I made it. It's fine. I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, but that's
Mhm.
like really anything. Like, I mean, I feel like Europe, any
Mhm.
African country, any Asian
Mhm.
country, they've had so like such long history compared to like the US.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so I find it fascinating that things have been like passed down that long, whether it's like,
Mhm.
you know,
Same.
these any medical journals,
Yeah.
anything about history, about war, about anything like a
Mhm.
civilization that doesn't exist anymore, like in Egypt, like Egyptians and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
true. I forgot what they're called, like pharaohs and stuff like that. I'm always interested in stuff like that, which is why I like to read historical fiction because I get like
Mhm.
a fictional story with
The
most of the
history. Yeah.
historical, accurate
Mhm.
historical facts. So, like,
Mhm.
this was a book, and I learned some things, and I find it
Mhm.
cool that the medical journals exist and like someone has created one
Mhm.
off of it.
Right.
But it read very, like Monica said, like mechanically,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it was not an
Yeah.
enjoyable read.
No. Mm-mm.
Felt like I was reading a textbook.
Yeah. I know, I was trying to think of, like, if I would recommend this to anybody or, like, the type of person I would recommend this to, and I honestly don't know. I guess if somebody's, like, interested in early, like, Chinese medicine to a degree, I guess, like, it's not even early Chinese medicine, though, it's, like, I don't
See,
know,
if I
women's
yeah,
medicine?
like if I had a lot of friends like in college. I don't know anyone right now, but like I had a lot of friends in college that were going into a nursing program.
Mhm.
Like, this is would be something I would
Yes.
recommend, but I would tell them it reads like a textbook, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
I think I always find it important, like whatever field you go into, like that's why I took some Chinese and Japanese courses in school for history, more so because like with politics, because I majored in political science, having like knowledge from all different kinds of
Right.
countries and backgrounds
Mhm.
and like how far it goes back, like it's always important to know like there's a reason. What is that book that everyone reads? The Art of War. It's like
Mm.
everyone like has read that. Oh, I haven't read it, but like Ryan's read it. A decent amount of people have read it
Mhm.
because it's important for like how to strategize and stuff like that. You can apply it to like many different areas of your life, but people specifically do it in like military and stuff like that. So
Right.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I understand the importance. It doesn't mean that this book was like a enjoyable read.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Same. That's my thoughts too. Yeah.
I hope our next one's better though.
I know.
I don't have any other thoughts. I was like, oh, we have
I
another.
I know. I don't either.
Oh, sorry. We haven't announced our next book yet. Ooh,
No, we could.
I haven't even read the synopsis. I literally just like placed the hold for it.
Mm,
Let me pull it up.
let's see.
Hi,
Hi,
Lizelle.
Lizelle. We are just chatting. So the next one is going to be this, The Briar Club by Kate Quinn, which is a new release. So it just came out in July. And I know this author is like super popular with historical fiction. So I think I had like a snippet of the description when I wrote it down. Let me see.
Oh, so it's 1950s,
Yes.
Washington, D.C.
hmm An all-woman boarding house, and there's like weekly dinner parties, and like all the friends have secrets, and like things happen, I guess. So I'm intrigued.
Um, where does it say? It says, a widow, Grace, moves into the attic. She draws her oddball collection of neighbors into fully and likely friendships. Poised English beauty Fliss, whose facade of perfect wife and mother covers gaping inner wounds. Police officer's daughter's Nora, who is entangled with a shadowy gangster.
Mm.
Um, frustrated baseball star B, whose career has ended along with the Women's Baseball League of World War II.
Ooh,
Poisonous gung ho Arlene, who has thrown herself into McCarthy's Red Scare. Which I find it interesting because
interesting.
I don't know a lot about the McCarthy era because any like historical
hmm
fiction I read in the US is like early 1900s.
hmm I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
So I'm very interested in this.
Yeah.
We're going to choose the Rose Code just because I know when I said that I wanted to read more historical fiction, everyone would
Yeah.
tell me I want to read that one. But
hmm
and then you were like, "Oh, this one just came out." I was like, "Sold. Let's do that one."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
this also sounds more our speed.
hmm Well, like a female baseball star as well. That's interesting.
It gives me League of Our Own vibes.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. What's on a side note, Monica?
Oh, she was probably typing, and then we announced
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay.
I'll have to ask Brennan. He knows a lot of like history for the U.S. I mean, like I know a decent amount, but I've never like really studied the McCarthy era, just because I feel like there's a bajillion other eras to kind of
hmm
learn about and stuff. But I'm excited
Yeah.
for that one.
hmm Should be
I
good.
do love the. Oh, I do love the cover.
Me too. The, like gold.
Yeah, with like the lock and the flower.
hmm
But also, I'm like, is this a real like house? Like this boarding house, was it a real thing? Like I want to know.
I know. Yeah. I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. I know that author is like super popular.
Have you read anything by her before?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Mm, an era of paranoia. Very interesting. Okay. For the McCarthy era. I'm
Paranoia.
intrigued.
Wonder what was happening in like the 1950s. Wasn't really Cold War. I mean, I guess it could have been
Mm,
like communism, maybe.
yeah.
So I was thinking, oh my God, I am
Christmas tree shopping in July.
not thinking about Christmas. I can barely like.
This summer has flown by. Like, I can't believe we're almost to the end of summer.
Stimulant is next week.
I know. Yeah, literally next week we'll be there. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know who. I don't know why I decided to do this to myself of like getting back on Sunday and then like adjusting to the time
Oh, yeah.
and then a week like my
Going back
body.
to work on Monday.
Yeah, like today my body is finally like last night I finally got enough sleep to where I was like I can wake up at a normal time and it'll be fine. And then next week it's
I
gonna
was
be.
surprised you posted you were working on Monday morning. I was like, "Oh,
I just
just
had I
right
had
back to
so
it."
it's release week for Rebecca, so I was like, I
Yeah.
had so much to do. Like literally,
Yeah.
I prepared until like Friday. Friday was everything that I had prepared, so I had to do stuff on Monday. I mean, I slept most of the day Sunday because our flight got delayed and stuff. But
Yeah, that was crazy.
it was so stupid. I'm like, we need to fix our stuff. Like this is the one time that I'm flying Southwest to Stimulant, and I'm
Mhm.
actually okay not flying Delta. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
I know
hot.
I saw a lot of people freaking out about even the flights next week for Steamy-Lit. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oof,
That's why I'm like,
why
I'm
not?"
so happy I'm not doing, Delta
Mhm.
next week. I'm doing, Southwest. Oh, okay.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
that's what I
interesting
thought.
then. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, the heat.
Mm.
It was hotter here in Georgia than it was in Hawaii when I was there.
Yeah, I believe it. What's the temperature for you now at home?
It was 97 last week, which was crazy, but
Mm.
today it's been pouring at night, like the summer showers type thing. So we'll have like
Oh,
thunderstorms. But I
yeah.
think we got up to like 88 today, 89.
Okay. 'Cause was it just, like, low 80s in Hawaii the whole time?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
perfect weather.
I love it, like, I could live there, it's so nice, like, the weather's perfect, like, you can just go outside and not be, like, sweating, just be comfortable, it's so chill and relaxed, ugh,
Yep. Yep. Literally, me and Brandon was like, "Can we afford to live here? Can we do that?" He's like,
yeah,
"Work would be a
same,
bitch though, because we're 6 hours behind."
mhm, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Jess was we recorded a podcast at 6 today and we were talking she was talking about how she wants to do like Halloween decorations and fall decorations. And I was like, "I
um,
get it. I wanted to be
yeah,
cooler too, but like,
mhm.
whoa now."
I love fall and, like, the coziness of it all, but also, like, I'm not mentally there yet, like, in the year to be doing that.
Like I can't believe August 1st is like next week.
I know. Oh, that's right, Kamal, I saw all your photos, like, when you were up here and stuff. Looks like you guys had a lot of fun on your cruise.
Oh, an Alaskan cruise.
Mhm,
Me and Brandon talked about doing that. He's like, "I want to go somewhere cold next."
yeah. Yeah, I saw she did, like, tons of, like, fun little, like, touristy things when she was up there or up here.
Where was what's the temperature for you like right now during the day?
Um, I
Is it like
think it might
60s?
be is it what?
60s?
This week it's actually nice, so it's, like, 70 outside right now.
Okay.
Mhm. But it was 60s and, like, low 50s earlier this week because it was rainy and just gray, but today's, like, the first day we got sunshine again.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did do the Pearl Harbor thing, which
Oh,
was
yeah. Mhm. Yeah. That place was really hot, like, I remember when we went there because it's, like, all that concrete, that place was so hot.
so we
But
didn't even do the Arizona part.
okay,
We
mhm.
toured the Missouri, so we did the whole ship tour.
Oh, yeah.
We walked through the whole entire ship, and it was stuffy underneath because we didn't
Yeah.
have air conditionings. And of course, my dad was like, "This is so cool!" Like he was like a kid in a candy shop, and
Mhm.
my mom was like, "I'm gonna go sit down. Like I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore." But it was
Mhm.
so, like we were all drenched.
Yeah.
And just being
Yeah.
out there and then like on the top deck, ugh. Like the breeze was nice, but when
Mhm.
you're in the direct sun, it is just
Yeah. Yeah. Christmas stuff. Oh, man. I saw people, like, post photos of, like, stores that have Christmas stuff out, which is wild.
I can't think about that. Like
I
mentally,
know.
I cannot.
Same. Like, I love fall and winter, but I'm not there yet.
I'm trying to get through this week. Like that's where I'm mentally at right.
Same. That would be fun, Monica. I've seen people do that, like, have Halloween trees and stuff decorated.
Yeah, I just do.
I just like a traditional green Christmas tree, though, personally.
Yeah. I have my little white one that I put up in my library. I have
Mm.
a little green one, and then I have another like normal green one, and then we have our giant green one.
Yeah. I have, like, little small, like, mini like, a pink one and different color ones, but, like, the main one is just green.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like all my fall stuff for. I don't like Halloween. Halloween's my least favorite like
Mm.
holiday. Like I don't like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't do spooky. I don't do that. It's not my thing.
I just do, like, fall decorations for
It,
it, like, I don't do the, like, creepy decorations, you know?
I do the pumpkins everywhere. The pink pumpkins.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember was it last year when I finally put out all my pink like pumpkins? When I think I did like a decorate for fall with me or something. Someone commented
Mhm.
and they were like, "I love the pink pumpkins. That's how you know it's fall in Tori's house." I'm like, "Yes."
True.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I haven't had a real Christmas tree in forever.
Same. We had them growing up. We don't have them now. They're just like a pain and kind of like a lot of work.
My dad will get like a tiny one now because it's just like them or whatever. And like out,
Hmm.
like he likes Christmas, but it's not like a big thing. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's nice. Just like a little creepy area.
Yeah.
Monica.
Oh, I hate Halloween. It's not my fave. So what are you reading now? Before we go, I guess.
I'm literally not reading anything right now. I have to start a book tonight, so I'm gonna read I have the new novella for Nikki Castle.
Oh yeah, I did get that, and I got QB Tyler's through Good Girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have that too. I have a bunch of arcs. That's like all I've been reading this month is like arcs and ALCs and like book club stuff. And I'm like, can I get back to reading like just stuff I want to read? Like I'm kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, that's why I think for my August TBR, like I have to film that because it's going up next week, and I was thinking about
Mhm.
like this weekend what I have to film and stuff, and I was like, oh, I need to ask my Patreon like what two books, and I was like, you know what? I'm mood reading. I'm mood reading in August. I'm not doing anything other than like book club
Yep.
and like any arcs that I have, but I don't even think I have that many arcs for August. Like I didn't sign
Hmm.
up for any Berkeley stuff or Atria, so I'm like, I don't really have anything, and I just want to mood read. That's all I want to do.
That's what I want to do. Yep.
Um,
But I
but
did finish the because I've been reading arcs, so I did finish the like Luna Lark, which is Veronica Eden's pen name, like her paranormal wolf shifter one.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, I keep seeing Luna Lark everywhere. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
who the hell is Luna Lark? Because I'm like,
Oh
she
yeah.
has to be like a previous writer. Like I've never heard of her before.
Hmm.
So okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Which she does say, like, who she is. I didn't just, like, out her or anything.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, she has it, like, on her bio and stuff and all of her like, it says, like, Veronica Eden writing as Luna Lark.
Okay. Okay.
But I guess she has other books with that pen name, but, like, this one's, like, really taking off, this, like, paranormal wolf shifter one. It's fun.
Would you rate it?
It's probably a 4 for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was fun, but, like, I've read other ones that I love more, like, I've read a lot of wolf shifter ones.
Um, I
What
will.
have you
I saw
read
you
besides
finish.
this?
I saw you finish Playbook.
Oh, yeah, I loved that book. That's, like, my favorite book this month, like, no lie. Like, I love it so
Well,
much.
so like when I work now that I work right for an author,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always get nervous when my friends read a book. I'm like, are they gonna hate
Mhm.
it? Are they gonna love it? Like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I loved it, but I'm like, does that mean everyone's gonna love it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it so cute?
I love it so much. Like, that's what I was like, I loved Burnout, but, like, this one I love, like, top tier. Like, it's, like, my favorite book from her, like, ever. Like, I love it so much.
It for me that rivals Scoring the Player. That one was my
Mm,
favorite.
I love
And
that one,
Burnout was
yeah.
like right underneath it, but that one
Yeah,
rivals Scoring the Player. I love the
yeah.
sweet stuff that she writes, like the
I
super.
know. It was so good. So, so good. Which is out tomorrow or, like, tonight, I guess, depending on your time zones. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh.
Um, also, oh wait,
Mm.
Gothic
Yeah.
historical. I'm loading up on like Gothic historical or like Gothic stuff for fall.
Mhm. Mhm.
Very atmospheric. What am I reading? Oh, I'm reading The Front Runner. I'm listening to the audio. I just started that today
Okay.
because I got it from Pony.
Yeah, the periwinkle thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
Have you read that one before, though? Is it a reread or not?
no,
Okay, yeah.
so I started reading Off to the Races because Hoopla has it, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, like I need to read this. I have the physical book. Oh, because we picked it up at Book Bonanza.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
like, why does it sound familiar? I was like, I feel like I've read this already. And I go to look at Goodreads and I already read it. And I gave it like 3.5 stars. I was like, oh,
I don't know.
thank you. So that's why I picked up the front runner because I wanted to go in order.
Yeah. I did that one this month too because the audio had come out.
Yeah. So Victor Dixon. I'm listening to that audiobook and I think starting Callie Mel's, I only have one book to read for Patreon. Meet Me in the Penalty Box.
Oh, okay. I'm interested about that one.
Hasn't had like the best ratings, but
Okay. Yeah, I did read one of her books this month, the newer one, and it was just okay for me. So
I
I'm
give it a fourth
interested in
bet.
that one, but, like, I don't know, it's not, like, a priority for me to get to, you know?
Yeah, like they're fun. The
Mhm.
Tell Me How You Hate Me, that's the title, I think.
Yes. Mhm.
It was cute,
Mhm.
like, enemies to lovers. It was fine.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I was doing,
Fall reading.
anticipated releases for,
Mm.
August through
Fall.
December, and there were so many, like, witchy ones, like, Ashley Herring Blake has one, the Christmas
Yes.
one, and I'm like, "This looks so cute."
Mhm. I'm so excited for that one. Yep.
But yeah, that's what I'm physically reading, and then on vacation, I read just, like, what I wanted. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just reading."
That's nice that you read on vacation.
No, I got a lot done. I think I'm gonna start The Fiance Dilemma by Elena Armas this week.
Mhm.
I have the physical arc, like, on this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Did
feel
you
like new releases this month have been good, like, because I did Business Casual by BK Borson, so good. Even The X Vows by Jessica Joyce, I loved that one as well, that was really good, with,
did
like,
you
Second
listen to
Chance.
the audio of Business Casual?
Yeah, I had the audio ALC for it.
Did you like I started it and I don't like the narrators.
Yeah, they weren't my favorite, but I just love her books and, like, characters, so, like, I could get
Yeah.
behind it. After a while, it took me a while, though, for that one.
Okay, because I stopped. Like I got 2 chapters in and I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, I know Jess loved this book. I really like BK
Mhm.
Morton stuff. Like I don't wanna ruin it."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
let me pause. Do you have the Asking for Trouble by Gianna Park?
No, mm-mm.
Okay, that one comes out tomorrow too.
Mhm. Yeah, I do plan to read that one this weekend because it's a novella, right? Ish. Yeah.
It's a full length. It's like 300 something pages.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see if I get to it this weekend then.
Oh, I finished Play Along. I got the audiobook while I was on vacation.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, let me listen to it."
Oh,
I
what'd you
was
think?
crying on the plane.
I haven't
I
read it
was
yet.
tearing up at the end. I was like, "Okay, like, I get it." The beginning was, like, giving me four-star vibes, like, first 50%. I
Mhm,
was like, "This is a
mhm.
good book." Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm hooked. That last half, I was like, "I'm done. Done."
Yeah. July was stacked for big
Yes.
new releases.
Like, I'm trying to catch up. I'm still trying to catch up from June releases, honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
read, Kat's new book, the
Oh, yeah. Bright Lights and Summer Nights one?
that one was
Mhm.
so fun.
Yeah, that one's fun. Hers are very fun too, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's,
Oh,
like, my
interesting.
favorite, but it's up there. Like, it's definitely up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. My favorites of the year list, I feel like, is gonna be either really easy or really hard because I feel like I haven't had a ton that, like, blew me away, you know what I mean? Like, compared to other years, even last year was, like, really easy to slap together, but, like, I don't know, we'll see.
Obviously, like, The Women, that's one of my favorites, House of Flame and Shadow.
Mhm. Those are on mine too, yeah.
Like, I can't even think of any.
Everybody loves it. I've heard, like, such good things about Play Along, which I need to get to it.
The audiobook
I'll
is
probably
really
do the audio though.
good, yeah. I think it's Jacob
Good.
Morgan,
Okay.
and I don't remember the female, but it was really good. Did you get the Eternal Embers box for Larry Reads?
Mhm.
Did you open yours already?
I haven't gotten mine yet, it's still in transit.
Oh, because me and Jess bought ours at the same time.
Mhm.
Um, and I got mine while I was out of town, but hers hasn't shipped. It just says the label's created.
Oh, I'll have to check on mine.
Yeah, I just opened mine today, so they're like I did an unboxing and
I
it's
saw the email from them though, like, did you get the hand printed one? I mean, signed or the
no. I got the
okay.
it looks like she printed it. So basically it
Yeah.
looks like she took a printer
Mhm.
and
Yeah, 'cause
ran
it's, like,
off
blue or
the
black. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not mad about it. I don't care that much, but
No. Mm-mm. Okay, yeah, mine's moving, my tracking number for it. It's just taking forever because, like, if people send me media mail, it could go to Seattle and gets on a barge, and that takes 2 weeks to get to me from Seattle.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
So I hate media mail personally.
Good to know if I send you something, do not send it media mail.
Yeah. Or just I won't get it for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, whose stuff's on audio? I mean, Hoopla.
Oh, yeah.
Liz? Is hers on Hoopla? If so, I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Well, I think every hoopla is different, right? Because you said the Briar code was
Yeah,
on.
true. True.
Oh,
Aw, that's super nice. Of
yeah,
this box, Monica? Or I guess that's one she did, I guess, yeah.
yeah.
Aw. Oh, Darcy Hannah is the one on Hoopla. Okay. I don't think I've
Oh,
heard of that author.
yeah. But I feel like this month, like I read a lot, but I'm like, but what did I read?
I know. I know.
Did you read the new Becca and Krista Ritchie book?
No, because I've never read them before.
I don't. It's very unique. Like I've never really read a book like
You
this.
read it, right? It's the one with the pink with like the strawberry or something on the
Yeah,
front.
it
Okay.
ends on a major cliffhanger. Like I didn't know that. So
Oh.
like HEA wise too. Like they're not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a series, which is like fine.
Mm,
But it was very unique the way it was written. I was like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I do remember this now, Monica. You told us that at Sweetgrass. That's right. Okay. I remember. It's
yeah,
all coming back to me. That feels like so many years ago, but it was just what, March?
yeah.
Time flies. Ooh.
Hey,
That's for the month. I love that. Hmm.
you know what my problem has been, and I told Jess this too. I was
Mhm.
chatting about, oh, because she was like, "What did you read? Like, how'd you like everything?" And I was like,
Mhm.
"I liked everything. Everything's been like a 4 star besides Play Along." But it's like by the end, I just don't care. So like by 70%, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like the book is gonna turn out the way it
That's
is.
yeah. Mhm.
Cute, fine,
I
dandy,
know.
lovely."
I know.
Yeah,
That's what, like, it seems like so many contemporary romances are getting longer, and I'm like, I personally would want them shorter. Like, some of these, I'm just like, "Okay, I got it. I'm in. Like, what else is gonna happen now? Like, I got what I needed out of it. Like, I'm happy with where they are." Yeah. Yeah.
like maybe I just need like a super angsty read. I'm like, I just want to reread Binding and Keeping 13 now because I got the books. I'm like, they're so cute. I love them so much.
I need to read those. I'm, like, worried to read them, but we'll
Wait,
see,
you
I
haven't read
think.
them at all?
No. Mm-mm. Nope. I have not. I need to try them. But they're really long, right?
Yeah, but they're so good.
Worth it.
Oh my god, we should do a read along.
Yeah, I would read that would get me to read them.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make a read along thing.
Mm,
Yes, perfect. It was
mhm.
perfect. No,
Yeah, none need to be 500 pages.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I
How many are
see
in that series though? 7? Or
5.
oh, that's it?
Well, the first 2 books follow the same couple, and then books 3 and 4 follow the same couple, and then book 5 is its standalone. Like not standalone, but it's its own couple. But you have to read them in order.
Is that the one that's called, like, Redeeming 7?
So Binding Keeping 13, and then
Okay.
Saving and Redeeming 6,
Oh, okay.
and then Taming 7. So it's their numbers, like for
Oh,
reading.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking it was, like, the number of the books for the later ones, and, like,
No, no,
that
no,
makes sense because
no.
it starts with 13.
Yeah. But they're so
Okay,
good.
interesting.
I don't know if you like the first ones as much, just because they're a lot younger characters, but
Mhm.
Joey and Eva are my favorite.
'Cause
I also can't
they're, like,
believe I
emotional, right? And angsty?
oh, yeah, so emotional. But I see you
Yeah,
next
maybe
week.
that's what I need to read, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
read-alongs are there right now?
I am going to reread mine soon, so but I will probably read them next year too. So
Oh, since 2019. Yeah, because 'cause they've been out a while, right? Or is that when they came out?
no, these came out 2018 is when this first came out.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
No, they're pretty. Oh, I love them so
Jess is
much.
doing a Samantha Young one in August. Oh, was that for her Patreon?
Oh, oh, she did say
That's right,
that.
I did that. I think I did vote for that as well. I love read-alongs, though, because they honestly will get me to read books that have been on my TBR forever. Oh, yeah, the wallflower. I'm doing the Wallflower one, duh. Okay. But that one's, like, so spread out. It's like a book a month, so, like, it doesn't feel as yeah, the Adair Family is the Samantha Young one. Okay.
The Belle Matthews is mine, but that's not until October.
Yeah.
These books smell so good, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm
I love
just
selling books. But,
smelling
like,
them.
read-alongs will get me to make my TBR, and, like, that feels more mood reading than, like, arcs, you know what I mean? Like, doing
Yeah,
a read along where it's like books that have been on my TBR forever.
yeah. Well, that's why, like, who
Mm.
asked me? Was it Jess? Maybe Jess asked me. She was like, "Are you gonna do a read along for the Boys of Tillman series?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I literally just read them. Like, I don't know." She's like, "Oh, I still haven't read the second one." I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
"How are
See, it's
you?"
gotta happen. Everybody will read them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Exactly.
I want
Yes.
to get back into doing read alongs though, like for my main channel too.
Mhm.
So maybe I'll put the word out. We'll see.
Yeah. I love read-alongs.
But I got all these books
Yep.
from like Berkeley. I just opened a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I don't even remember signing up for these. Okay, thank you for that. I got a Jen DeLuca one, Haunted Ever
Oh,
After.
yes. That comes out next month.
It
Yeah, I have
looks
that.
so cute.
Yeah, which that one's like spooky fall vibes, I think. I need to read it
In
already.
Florida on in a beach town, and I'm like, this is so adorable.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Same, same, same.
I'm not surprised, Kamar.
Nope, we're not surprised.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, I think that's about it that we have.
yep, good
So,
first five,
thanks
girl.
everybody for, yeah, joining us. Even if you didn't read it and you just came to chat, I'm always down for a chat.
Yeah, and I'll
And
see you
then
next week.
I know, yeah, next week in California.
What time do
So
you land?
excited. I think at night, like 6 o'clock or something.
On Wednesday?
Mhm.
I land at like 7. So
At night as well.
wait, where are you flying into?
The Santa Ana airport.
Oh, okay. I'm doing Long Beach.
Okay, yeah. Mhm.
I don't know. I did what Jess told me to do.
Yeah.
That looks so cute.
Thank
I didn't
you.
know she had a book coming out, but yeah, stay tuned
Mhm.
next week. But thank you
Yeah,
guys
I
for
can't believe it.
joining.
Okay, yeah, thanks for joining us, and we will post about our August live show at some point. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Bye.